lot of the 8-ball games is once you break, if you make a ball, let's say you make a stripe, you don't. Taipei, they don't really play a lot of 8-ball in the amateur side of it, so she hasn't had a lot of exposure to it.
First break from Hung, almost making the balls in the side pocket, but nothing down here.
Yeah, she looked like she was just trying to control the cue ball, not really putting a lot of power into it. They're trying to make the ball behind the head ball, the 2 balls back there, make one of those into the side pocket. So now Weiwei has her option. There are some difficult things here. Eric, do you want to talk about those?
Yeah, I'm worried about the opener on the solids. So I think she might be forced into stripes here. 9's going to be the toughest stripe on the table.
Yeah, she's going to have to find a way to break those out. And yeah, other than that, I mean, the 11 is close to the 7, but I do believe it's easy to pocket if she gets correct on it.
Looks like she might be considering the 7 just because it's so tough to get up the 9 with no other stripes very near it. But the cue ball is running heavily towards the 13 off the 7. See what she comes up with here. And this is why they have more time on the first shot after the break. So many choices.
Well, and you're evaluating, you're trying to figure out, of course, the treble balls, but then what is easy to get to the 8-ball once you start clearing balls. So there's a lot of thought process going on here in that first shot. So she chose the solids, and hopefully she comes around enough to get on that 1. That was a great shot. Not the easiest opening shot.
Yeah, avoided the 13 and the 14 nicely. Freed the cue ball up into good position here. Believe the 6 must pass the 12 if she picks solids. Have to maneuver back to that position on the table as the rack develops.
She has the 2 ball to do that with. So here, if she can draw it over to play either the 3 or the 4. I think the 5, well, she's now, that's not good, so she might have been okay. She did not mean to hit the 5. She didn't really want to move that 5 because you never know what's going to happen with it. She got a little bit lucky. So here, I think, is where she's going to do what you said, which is get rid of that 6. So she'll probably roll over for the 2 and then roll up for the 6.
I'm not sure if this 6 passes the 10. If it does, that play will be okay, but I kind of feel like she has to get the cue ball closer to the 10. Could be wrong.
Okay, she's taking it actually now, so you might have been right there. We can't see from the... Oh, there it is.
Oh,
yeah, it could go in both. But I think from this angle, it's going to be a lot easier to get over maybe. She's a little straight, but it's easier to get to the 3 and the 4. Can she see the 3 past the 4 ball? If she can, then she doesn't have to really do a lot here. Yeah, she got straighter than she wanted to. If she had just another inch, it would have been easy to get over there for those balls. Now she's had to take a longer shot on the 3. And this is kind of tricky because you got the cue ball scratch possibility, or if you run into the 4. So if she draws it back and can hold the cue ball, that would be ideal.
Yeah, it's a lot of angle for that shot, but there's not much else there.
She's got a beautiful stroke, though, to be able to do that. So hopefully she can hold it here. Oh, see, that's dangerous, you know. You're always taking a chance of scratching. But she did it and did it well. She's got a shot. She's looking at the angle she wants. She may have to play up and down the table to get a shot on that 8 because, see, it doesn't go by the 9.
Well, straight here, Don.
Yeah, she's got enough angle, though, to just power it up. If she can hit somewhere in the middle diamond at the far end of the table, come back above the side pocket, I believe she still has enough angle to do that easy.
Yeah, that would be the most obvious path. She was kind of looking between the 12-15. That's a tight window there to draw the cue ball across. Just a question of how much angle she has here, but it looks like she is going center ball. Trying to stun the cue ball over to the left side.
Just like that, but watch out for the side.
Oh,
that is
that.
Unfortunately. See, she came short of the middle diamond back there, and that put her right into the pocket. So that was an unfortunate thing. She had plenty of room up there. That was just a little bit of an error on her part that I have a feeling, is going to pay for. So now we have Bean Hung up shooting, and Bean is coming into this tournament ranked number 11 on the world ranking. She's also ranked 12th on the WPBA. And last year she finished 5th in this event, as well as Wei Wei. Wei Wei also finished 5th, tied for 5th in this event. So that's why I feel like this is going to be a real close match.
Yeah, Hung actually plays a bit of hay ball, and that'll definitely refine your 8-ball patterns and just have a little bit more familiarity with her throughout the year in competition.
And this is pretty much all that Bean does. Bean plays pool. That's what she does. Except she did say that she's learning to be a barista at home, just for herself, not to work as one. But she loves to make coffee. That's her hobby. Specialty coffees. So I thought that was interesting. I've never heard anybody say that.
Getting through the rack nicely here. Just trying to figure out a way to move the cue ball the least throughout these last 4 balls.
Right. It's just a pattern that they have to see before they start. You have to make your choice and then commit to it. And, you know, you do want to say, what is the ball closest to the 8, which right now is the 12. So ideally, she's going to come over and play the 14 after this to try to get on the 12. Move, like you said, move the cue ball as little as possible. So if you can think of those triangle shapes that you can just do stop, stop, stop and make it easy. But it's all about controlling the cue ball. So that's done perfectly. All she'll have to do is play this with a little low left and then come out for the 12 in the side. She's taking her time. Usually she shoots a little faster than this, so I know she wants to make sure that she has this game, the first game, on the board.
Yeah, Hung definitely wants to hang on to as many of her breaks as she can. I put Chen a little bit stronger in the breaking department, so a bit more of a threat to break and run. So really important for Bean to hold serve as much as possible.
That's a great run, staying in control. Took advantage of Wei Wei's mistake there. So Wei Wei is discussing something with Bean. Maybe about the break. I don't know. They have the tournament director involved, so we can't hear what they're saying down here, up here. Whatever it is, they're agreeing. Everybody's happy. That's good. Nobody looks upset. I didn't see anything happen in the match. It may have something to do with the time clock. I'm not really sure. I'll try to find that out for you. So while they are racking the balls, I want to just mention thank you to all the sponsors here at the event. We have, as you can see on the boards behind, we have Oneida Nation, who is the host site here. They have a casino, a hotel. It's beautiful here. They've been treating us wonderful. We had a banquet on the first night that we got in on Wednesday, and or maybe it was Tuesday, and they had their smoke dancers come out and show us their traditional dance, which was awesome. All the players really enjoyed it and got to meet and talk with some of the Oneida tribe here. So, and then we have Olhausen pool tables. Of course, you see these tables. They're playing great. The players are raving about how the tables play, and it's a nice. You can see with the pockets are really nice and level, so when you're shooting out of the pockets, it's great. The rails are playing wonderful, and of course, we have Simona's cloth on it and the Aramith balls, and both of those companies have been so supportive with us over the years. We do have Dr. Poole, who is the production company basically that put all this together and arranged all of this. That's Dean Rossler and his staff, and they're doing a great job with all the referees that you see here. And so it's been, and then of course we have WPBA, we have J.P. Shower Hughes, who's another person who puts a lot into the sport all around the country for pros and amateurs. So see, she played right exactly from the center of the table. That is where most of the players are breaking from, is either directly in the front or maybe an inch or two off of the center, because that seems to push those balls into the side pocket. But besides that, you can control your cue ball where, you know, because the 8 does not count on the break, a lot of times people will use the side break with the second ball to do that, but you lose control of the cue ball more, and it doesn't count anyway. So I don't see many people breaking from the side. That the ones that did, I didn't see it working to make a ball.
Yeah, I think just the overall dispersion that you get from the middle too is a lot more offensive, and players looking to stay on offense as much as possible.
Yes.
Every solid has a pocket here.
Yeah, and the 10 ball does not, so I think that's why she's choosing, because this, of course, the 12 would be an easier shot, but she's got difficulty with that 10, and there's no ball over there to really break it out. So,
Ideally wants some angle going up table. She has just a little. Worst case, she can stun for the 1.
yep. So it's good to have if you see she's, making an an exact point on the table of where she wants the cue ball to stop. And if you don't do that, you're going to go in a general area, but it's really good to, even if you can't get there, it's really good to be very specific about where you want to go.
Yeah, it just helps with overall visualization of how you want the cue ball to move as well.
Right. So this looks like textbook run out here. She's going to play the 3, probably get the 6 ball. The 2 ball, she just wants to make sure she can maybe run into the 10, or to stop the cue ball. Maybe she's going to play the 6, stop there, and then she can play the 2 and kind of bump the 10 just to make sure that she can stop the cue ball and not go too far.
Yeah, she's just looking at a couple options. The 10 ball right in the path of where she'd want to be on the 2. I think just stopping in here, she'll be thick enough on the 2 that she can hold for the 7.
She just called an extension. And I don't, so they're having a little trouble with the clock. So the beep should not happen if she called her extension. And that's a little distracting, of course. Yes, so here she's got an angle, and rather than to let the cue ball run too much, she may opt to come into the 10, just hitting this softly. Just like that. Hold the cue ball. Now it's easy to just run around 2 rails for the 8 in the left side pocket. Just to get, that's not going to hurt her, but I know she meant to come around a little farther. It almost looked like she shot that more center than high. And I know,
just caught a little stun on the cue ball there.
Yeah, I've noticed that, it's quicker coming off the rails than it is coming off the bed of the table is a little bit slower than the rails. So either she didn't have a lot of spin on that, so it did seem to slow up a little once it came off the rails. But she got away with it, and now it's 1-1. So Eric, tell me a little bit about yourself. I know Eric is remote right now, so where are you remoting from?
Yeah, I'm in Toronto, Canada. I'm a pro-level player up in Canada. I don't make it to the States as much as I used to, but I teach up here, and I do some commentary for the Pro Billiards series, which has had a ton of women's events over the last couple years. Really great to see Predator getting behind the women's game, as well as WPBA.
Yes, they've been actually, the whole pool scene out there has been really great. WPA has had, it seems like, a lot of events. I've slowed down a little bit in my play, so I don't get out as often, but I know I watch the women, and there's a lot of tournaments. Both of these players are going right after this event. They're going to Rome, Italy, to play in I believe it's the World 10 Ball. And then not long after that, they're going to have the World 9 Ball in Vietnam. and they've got other things in between. So the competition has been stepping up, and with all these events out there, it's been great to watch. She broke dry again. This is the second time in a row that she's broke dry.
Pretty open table, Don. It's like choice of either stripes or solids on the opening shot.
Yes, I don't really see one or the other being more difficult. They all have pockets. So then from there, it's just kind of thinking again, kind of going backwards and thinking about what's near that 8-ball, what's going to be easy to get to the 8-ball, and once you start to clear things, what will it look like when you're down to the one or two balls?
Yeah, the 6 is a little tricky for solids. Can be played, but if the 14 passes the 4 here, I like starting with the 14 and going stripes. Might not. Still, I think just staying away from that 6 ball as being the biggest problem ball on the table. Chen will be looking at getting on the 14 early enough in this rack.
She's looking at the 11, I think, to see, does the 11 go past the 13? Otherwise, she's going to have to clear that 13 out. So right here is, you want to get rid of those problem areas pretty quickly, if you can.
She's torn between the 10 and the 14. I mean, one of the rules of an 8-ball is don't give yourself a chance to miss. But she is aware that that 14 is the toughest ball on the table. I like this play, though. Just trying to get better on it, and she definitely has here. So she'll be at the toughest ball early here.
And that's the thing about 8-ball, too. With 9-ball and 10-ball, the rotation games, you're kind of told what you need to shoot at. Well, you are told, because you have to hit the lowest number first. This one, there's so many choices. So if they're equally, like I noticed she had a lot of struggle going on there in her mind about what to take next, because there were a couple of different difficulties that she has to deal with. So I think I'd like to see her play this 9, come over for the 12, then get rid of the 13 and come up for the... Although the 12 is a good one to get on the 8-ball, I just don't know if the 11 goes past the 13. Does it look it?
That's the big question.
Yeah.
I think so. So if it does, I like 9, 11, 13, 12 here.
Yeah, she's really having trouble with the shot clock. She calls extension and then she still hears the beep. So she's got to get that out of her mind, because I know that's bothering her right now.
Short here, Don.
Yeah, she came a little weak, but she's still okay. If this goes, she can bump the 6, and if she can go full into the 6, it's not going to be a problem. She'll still be able to get on the 13. She does not look comfortable yet. I mean, when you see her in her comfortable state, she just moves around the table with no questions. This shot is looking a lot more difficult for her than usual. Because you're talking about the World Championship. She has... Okay, she's okay. That was... that, she bumped the 3 and it almost blocked the pocket for the 12. That would have been disaster.
Yeah, she got lucky on a couple fronts there. Nicked the 13 on the way through to the pocket and could have tied up the 12. But neither happened, so looks like she is going to be able to get through this rack here.
You don't want to get against the rail where the 12 is. You just want to leave a nice straight shot, just like this. This is perfect. She will be shooting over the 1, and keep in mind that it is foul on all balls. So normally she may stretch. She's going to get the extension on the back of her cue, which is legal, of course. It just gives her an extra stretch here. She just has to stop the cue ball, nothing else.
Going into her break-in rack number 4, and she's had a break-in run in this match so far. Bit of a early opening for Chen here.
Very nice, very nice. A little tentative in her shots, but she's, not comfortable yet. But these racks, getting through these racks, are going to give her more confidence, and you'll probably see her loosening up. I had Wei Wei and Kelly Fisher come to give an exhibition in my area one time, and she was giving tips to all the players, which was really nice. She got to spend one-on-one time with some of the people that I knew at the time. They were customers in a league that I had. And one of the things that I thought was a great tip that she gave was when you're shooting the cue ball, and this is for lower level players because the upper level players, most of them already have this, but the lower level players, you have trouble like with your stroke. A lot of them kind of poke at things. They don't really go through the cue ball. So she said, just imagine your cue ball and then imagine another cue ball past that cue ball a couple of inches. And instead of, if you're hitting center ball, instead of hitting center on the first cue ball, hit center on the second cue, the ghost cue ball. And that was just a visual that helped some of the players in my league. So if you watch her stroke, she's got a nice stroke. She can do a lot with that cue ball. Very right eye dominant. Coming close to scratching.
Yeah, first 2 breaks, the cue ball was going towards the right side pocket, but then it ended up down. Just hitting them with good power and getting good spreads. Going to be forced to take solids here. Going to have to find a way to solve the problem with the 1 and the 6 down at the lower end of the table.
Yeah,
looks like it could combo, Dawn. Would you consider that?
Possibly, but she also could take the 14 now if she really wanted to take the stripes. She could take the 14. But yeah, the problem down there with the 1 and the 6 is, I think it could be a combo.
Again, it's that dilemma. Do you want to risk missing a ball? I believe the 14 is just close enough to the pocket that she should consider it high enough percentage. So you're right. She is going to go stripes here. Stripes overall play better.
Yeah, and this is a natural way to get to that 13. It's very natural. So now the 12 is your hardest shot on the table because it's on the rail. So I definitely, at this point, get rid of that if she could. Even now, if she can drift up and get that perfect position to try to make the 12 and just get rid of it. Because you have the safety ball of the 10 up there. And the 15 is close enough to the pocket that she doesn't have to worry about that one as much. Yeah, so little bit of an angle there for that 12. So the 12 is really going to be the difficult one.
Choosing to go after it here. Another tough shot for Chen mid-rack.
Oh, yeah. So she just came a little too far from that 13 ball shot, a little too much spin. So now we'll see what's going to happen with Bean opening up this. Now the pocket's opened up down there because she made the 13, so there is no problem here on the table now.
Yeah, good look for Hung here, and chance to steal back one of Chen's breaks.
She's going to take the 5 in the side. I think the 2 goes in the corner. So she could play that next. If it goes in the top left corner. She's looking at this like it's more of a cut than I thought. If it is, yeah. Don't take a chance. Why take a chance? You could just shoot the 3 and then play the 5 afterwards when you have an easier shot at it.
Just a reminder for you folks in the middle of the room.
Yeah, 5 will lead good into the 7, and the 7 will lead into the 1-6.
Yeah, she does want to get rid of the 2, though, because you don't want to have to go up and down the table too much. Oh, she didn't. Yeah, so she left herself a much easier shot now on the 5. And then from there, she can probably play the 2, or she can play the 2 now and then get the 5. Because that way, again, you don't have to go up and down the table. You want to work one side of the table if you can, and just work it in groups of balls.
All the final 16 matches, or 4 of the 8 final 16 matches underway at this point. Sophia Mass down 3-2 against Rublina Mitt. Jasmine Ocean and Cheska Centeno. Listen to that match, Don. 2 of the tournament favorites going at it in the final 16. Tied at 3 each. And Chihiro Kawahara and Shui Ching Chang. Chang ahead 3-1.
Some great names, right? It's amazing. This room is just, any one of these players could win the tournament. Any one of them left in the tournament are contenders to win the tournament. And I wouldn't say that about all 64 players, even 32. But these 16 that are in this right now, they all are champion quality players.
Well, and so many international players coming over to play in WPBA events now. The strength of the field is stronger than it's ever been.
It is. I can attest to that. I've been playing this for 40 years now. I think this is my 40 whatever year on the WPBA tour. 42, I think. And I've never seen the field this strong. Which I love. I mean, bring it on. It's great. You can only learn from that. And that's what we love, right? We love this learning process. It certainly, I don't think, there's not many people who just do it for the money or just the titles. It's, the journey that we love. So she's kind of got a tweener here. It doesn't have a big angle. She could pop it up, draw it up. There's all kinds of things she could do here. You just have to make a decision and commit to it. You can't have the struggle in your head about what to do while you're shooting. She's 2-2 now, and we are going to 8 in this because it is at the final 16. We've gone from races to 7, and we've added a game on to go to races to 8 for the final 16. So you got to look at Atlas. Atlas is another sponsor also. There's the Dr. Poole sign, who Dean is the president of the WPBA board too, who the WPBA is a sponsor who also has brought this event here. So they do a great job on the board of directors. They've got Kathy is doing the tournament directing also, and Brittany Bryant, who was in this tournament and just got knocked out. She was running around when I got here, setting up tables and equipment and all kinds of things. So the board of directors for WPBA really work hard. The WPA is our, the governing body for this event and for the world events. So we're happy to have the partnership with the WPA, World Pool Billiard Association. You can go to that website, WPA-pool.com. Yeah, so she didn't really get kicked in. That came off the rack and just spun right into the pocket. So you have to hit these balls really square, otherwise it's dangerous. As you've seen for the last couple of racks, the cue ball is getting too close to that side pocket. Now it is open table, so she could play this 2-11 combination if she wanted to take stripes to alleviate an issue there. Otherwise, both the solids and the stripes are going to have an issue.
Yeah, I think it's forced to pocket a ball that's in front of the head string.
Oh,
off
yeah,
the
that's
break.
right. I forgot. It's not, you're right. You're absolutely right, Eric. So it's ball in hand through the whole game, except after the break, it's behind the line. So there you go. You're right. So now that is going to become something that has to be dealt with. But I like how the 15 is sitting by a pocket. If she takes stripes, if she can get around a couple balls and then take that 15 and draw into the 2-11, because the 14 is kind of a safety ball for wherever the cue ball lands.
Yeah, the 15 is the closest stripe to that breakout area. Doesn't play the best into it, but neither does anything else, really.
Right.
If she could find the window between the 6 and 8 and shoot the 14 in the side, that could work, stunning down.
Yeah, you have to be so perfect on the angle for that, but that is a possibility. We will see. So she's going to take the 12. And now this is where I think if I'm going to use the 15, I think I would go up now, but because that window on the 14 is just so small, unless you have a perfect way to get there.
Yeah, and the 7's kind of blocking part of that path that she needs to be on, but I think she is going to try to get to it here.
Yeah. The good thing is the 9 will be there if she doesn't get there, maybe. Okay,
She's there.
That's okay, but what I don't like about this is foul on all balls. You're shooting over the 7 and you can't really hit the cue ball where you want to hit it. So unless it's a perfect, almost center ball, she could miss the 2 balls down there. But you got to watch for that touch in the 7. You don't want to do that. Well, she did a great job on that. Very nice.
Yeah, got to one ball really besides the 15 that could open up that cluster, and did so perfectly. Still going to have some work with the 9-10, but toughest part of the rack done here.
Yeah, and the 8 too. The 8 is not, depending on what happens with the 10, I guess the 10's going to be the last ball shot. But with the 3, there's still a lot of traffic, a lot of solids down there.
Yeah, I might have to end up taking the 8 in the top right.
And she's coming awfully close to fouling. You know, once that beeping stops, it's stopping at 5 seconds. And I'm not sure, Eric, but I think it's supposed to not start until 10 seconds. But I believe that the tournament director is letting her know when she's at 10.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on just on the table as far as thinking, and to have that kind of in the back of your mind. Same for both players, of course, but you can see that it is kind of affecting her a little bit.
Yeah, because she is literally, oh, that's not good. I don't know. It didn't really open up anything. So now she knows she's got to draw to there. But, you know, her stroke, she has a beautiful stroke, so I have no doubt that she has the ability to get down there.
Yeah, really no shots on the table that phase her. Has good power when she needs it. Maintains good consistency.
And it's not the draw necessarily here, but it's so close to the rail you don't want it bouncing out too much when you do draw. Okay, she chose to go back and forth. Did she get it? No. So she's going to bring out her jump stick. And very hard jump here, because if you do get over the 6, you're actually going to land on top of the 10. And, you know, that's really all she wants to make it, of course, but landing on top of it and making it versus landing right before it, this is going to be better shoot it. Oh. Very nice jump, but didn't make it. Opened up. This is the second time now that she's gotten all the way down and left bean with an open table.
Yeah, and this is going to be Hung's first chance to take a lead in the set.
So she's just trying to figure out her plan of attack. Again, you want to kind of take the stop shots. You know, the 2, I think the 2 and the 5 I'd want to get rid of as soon as I can. Just because they were on rails. Everything else is kind of in the middle of the table, so, but those rail shots, they make it harder to get. They're just better to get rid of. Now, not that she would in here because she's got plenty of shots, but keep in mind when you're playing 8-ball and you've got all the balls on the table, if you're not comfortable with a shot, or there's something a little funny, you've got a ball tied up or something, you really shouldn't be trying to run out. You should just play a lock-up safe, get ball in hand, and then you can open up that problem area that you didn't like.
Yeah, particularly in Raxx, like where the 10 is right now, it's so easy to play safe around a stationary ball like that. She's been high enough percentage to stay on offense here.
I think she wanted to take the 5 first, but came a little too far, so now she'll take the 4 and then the 5.
Getting into more comfortable
Okay.
position now.
That was a nice shot. She used all of the pocket. So she'll take the 6 now. It has an angle, so she'll drift down a little bit lower. She's looking at the 7 in the side pocket.
Who do you like to win the tournament, Don?
All
Tough
of them.
pick.
Every one of them.
I know. The final 16 is super competitive. There's at least 10 of the 16 players that could vie for the title in the end.
Yeah, Jasmine is still in it. And didn't Jasmine win it last year?
She did, yeah.
So we have the reigning champion still in it. You can't discount her. But, I mean, really. And then I believe Jessica finished second last year. She's still in it, so she's probably biting at the bit to get into the finals.
Yeah, well, they ended up drawing each other first round of this final 16 bracket.
Yeah, they're playing right now. And that is a finals from last year match going on right now. You can probably watch that also later, once you're finished watching this, at the WPBA YouTube channel that I don't know if you're on there or if you're on Billiard TV right now, but I believe they're filming that match, and then you can watch that later. It may not have commentary on it, but at least you can see how the match went. So we have a great match going here. It's tight. These guys are going back and forth. So what's your favorite game, Eric? What do you play? Do you play snooker? Do you play 9-ball?
Yeah, we play a bit of snooker up here in Canada. I've mainly focused on American pool for the last while. We're actually getting a bunch of 8-ball tables in the Toronto area as well. I like playing offensive 9-ball. I like kind of freewheeling a little bit. That's my favorite game.
I think they're all great games. I always say, and I always say this is always been my thing, is you should play every game. 8-ball, 9-ball, straight pool, 1 pocket, because all the games, even hayball or snooker, they all teach you something different. Like I find that 1 pocket, you're learning the banks, you're learning the kicks, you're learning ball speed. It's a mental, it's like a total chess game, so you have to think a lot. 8-ball, there's that scratch in the side. I don't know why they're not adjusting, but it's hitting, or maybe they're not meaning to. I don't know if they're trying to do that to make that ball come off the side a little bit, but it's just too dangerous. Anyway, 8-ball, there's also chess moves in it. There's combinations, there's safeties. 9-ball, it's a shot-making game with safeties and ball speed. So they all have something a little bit different. I mean, why rein yourself into like one game? If you're really into the sport, if you want to get better, play them all. So we see the sign for Signorama. Want to thank them for also being a supporter. And I can't forget X-Pool, who is providing this telecast. So I want to thank X-Pool for having the equipment and all the staff to produce these events. They do a great job. So she's opted for the stripes.
Yeah, all the stripes on the right corner of the table here.
Isn't that funny how that worked out?
Uh-huh. So won't be much cue ball movement, and they all have a pocket, so I'm looking at a chance to open up a 2-game lead.
Yeah, I think if she takes the 10 here and then gets the 9 out of the way, it looks like she's going to have to probably get rid of the 11 pretty quick. So she's taking the 9 first. Maybe now she's going to take the 15 and then the 10. Maybe she didn't like the angle of the 10. I don't know. So many choices.
Yeah, the 10's going to be the ball that she's just slightly worried about, but I think she might end up playing it in the bottom left just to minimize the cue ball movement.
This wasn't as well played because of the shooting over the 6 ball, so she's limited to what she's going to do with the cue ball. She's going to have to take a long shot, probably on the 14. I don't know that I like the pattern that she played. That wouldn't have been my preference. I'm not saying it's wrong, of course. She's out there and I'm sitting in this chair, but it just seems like this is a harder pattern than she had. I thought getting rid of the 10 then would have been good. Because here she's got almost a worse shot on the 10 than she had before. And if she's playing the 8 in the side pocket, then the 15 is going to be your ball before the 8.
Yeah, there's another pattern where she plays the 8 in the bottom right. Shooting the 11 last.
Yeah,
Looks
that
like
is possible.
Gonna take that, maybe.
Yeah, she didn't get where
Dawn.
she wanted. I do believe she was trying to get position on the 11 and got out of position. So, I don't know, maybe she doesn't like going by that 4. There, now she's looking at it, so I think she's going to do what you said, but I don't think initially that was her plan. And that's where 8 ball is a little bit forgiving. You can change your mind mid-rack. So you should be evaluating after every shot if you're on the right track, because it's okay to change. It must be pretty tight.
4.
Yeah, it must be pretty tight. But even if she can't, she could change her mind. But it looks like she's going to play, because she could go to the other side of the table and just play it in the other corner, couldn't she? Yeah, there.
Yeah, make sure you're shooting into a full pocket here. Doesn't want to be on the rail, and she is.
Yeah.
So a bit of a tester coming up for Hung here. And an early turning point in the match. Really difference between being 4-2 ahead or 3 each. It's there.
There she goes. She's not real happy. I think she took a sigh of relief there. So she's got herself at 5-2. That was a big game. Bean is, she's a very strong player. Here's some of the matches going on. We've got Cheska against Jasmine. Cheska's up 6-4. She's on the hill. No, wait, they're playing at 8, so she needs 2 more games. Then Chang and Kawahara, it's 5-2. Mast and Amit. Amit is up 5-2. All really good matches. I want to watch them all at the same time.
Yeah, and we have another good set of 4 more matches coming up. The 2 p.m. local time slot. Pia Filler against Savannah Easton. Margaret Fefalova-Steyer against Christina Zlateva. Christina Tkach against Kelly Fisher. And I just can't quite see the last match on my bracket here. find it in a sec.
And we want to thank Digital Pool also for providing the live scoring. So you can go to digitalpool.com and get all the updated live scores for the matches at any of the major tournaments. So the players are taking a break, and we want to just go through the sponsors again because we do appreciate them, so I want to mention them as much as possible. We have Dr. Pool Promotions. They're promoting the event here. We have Oneida Nation, who is the facility that we're playing in. We're in a nice, beautiful ballroom. J.P. Chower Custom Cues. We have ABC Financial, Signorama, J.P. Chower Cues. We have Olhausen Pool Tables. And I know there's somebody I can't see down there. Atlas, I think it was. Simona's Cloth, Aramis Pool Balls. We have some really good supporters here. And also, I just want to mention that if you would like a set of the pool balls, you could go and purchase these specific balls, the ones that we're playing in this arena with, except for the final set. The final set will be auctioned off in the finals, but all the other sets of pool balls that we've been using have been donated by Aramis so that we can sell them on the WPBA website, and that's how we pay for some of our expenses to make these events happen for you. So if you want to go to WPBA.com, it has all the information there. And then there's information about all the players and everything, too, and the rankings and where we're going to be. And if you want information about WPA, the World Pool Billiard Association, you can go to WPA-pool.com. And they have all the rules to all the games, the world games that the pros play by. They have the rankings and where all the events that are coming up, like the one in Rome and all of these events. So I see Weiwei is coming back into the arena. So we will continue play now. Let's watch this cue ball. I just want to see it stay away from that right side pocket. Okay, that's progress. But she didn't make anything. So that's at least three dry breaks for Hung. I think she's going to be practicing her breaks after this match.
Yeah, she'll have to clean that up if she wants to make it through all the way to the end here. 8-ball, one of the games where the break really is dependent on a lot of the results.
Here's a nice look at the table from above. We have really, where are the trouble balls? There really isn't. 6 against the back rail. It's never good, but she can get rid of that fairly early. She's going after that right now because she can drift back down for the 2 or the 7, whichever side she wants to take. But I would think, I'm sorry, the 3, not the 2. But the 2 is also in kind of a funny spot, so early on, that would be a nice thing to take off the table.
Yeah, key to this rack will just be getting straight on the 5 at some point. If she does that, it'll lead well into getting onto the 2. She's got 3 more solids to develop that straight angle.
So here she can take the 7. She's got to watch her clothing. You know, you'll notice that pretty much all the players either have short hair or they've tied their hair back, like Weiwei. That's because if even a hair touches one of the balls, any of the balls, it's foul. So we've had to kind of change the way that we dress a little bit with our clothing. None of the players are wearing real baggy shirts. So she's taking the 3 now, and then probably going to take the 2, the 1. So here's where she'll get the 2, and you just want to make sure that you don't get on the rail after this shot, because if you get on the rail, it's going to be too difficult to make a shot for the 5. As long as she's off the rail about 6 inches, just like that, perfect. Now now she can maneuver the cue ball however she wants. She's going to draw straight back and back out again.
Good response here from Chen after losing 3 games in a row.
Well,
Timely timeout.
She took that, bathroom break, and sometimes it's just to freshen up, get your head back in the game, talk yourself into confidence. Perfectly played Raxx. And it will be her break also. So that brings it up to 4-3. And now with a break, and I'm going to say it again, let's watch the cue ball to make sure, to see where the cue ball's going. I want to see it stay away from that right side, because she scratched on the last break, I think she did, the one before, and has come close to that pocket.
Yeah, all 3 have kind of gone in that direction. Could be just hitting the cue ball on the left a little bit, or aiming too far left on the rack, on the right, hitting the cue ball too far on the right, or aiming too far left. One of the 2, but has to consider it. She has big power, Dawn. I don't think I think she's a favorite to make a ball in the break. Just
it's not
control
not about
that cue ball well.
Right, and sometimes they want to hit a little off the center of the front ball, because they're trying to push the balls behind into the pocket. But if you're coming too close to a scratch, you have to change that. Find another way. And she's hitting direct from the middle. Every break has been pretty much, you see, she's lined up direct in the middle. And it looks like she is bringing the tip of her cue to the left. If you see, it doesn't look in the center, but that's deceiving from the TV angle. Okay, well, she didn't go to the right.
Looks like that was the head ball straight back in the corner, and she's got one down.
She does have one down. Now, she made a solid, but again, she doesn't have to take a solid, and it's open table. So she could play the 4 into the 9 if she wanted to, if that was the shot to take. And then she would have stripes. But she'd have to clear the 4 out of the pocket and try to get shape on her next stripe ball.
Yeah, that'll be really the only opener on stripes, and I believe she has to take them considering where the 4 and the 5 are. So she is going to go after this combo play here.
Yeah, so what you don't want to do is hit the 4 full into the 9, because you want to hit the edge of the 9 so that the 4 kind of pops away. She's doing the left hand, so she did that good, but she didn't hit it hard enough to get it away from the pocket. So now she's bunched up the 14.
Yeah, and hasn't really left herself a stripe either.
No, not really. She has no, what can you do here? So there's the offensive plays, but then, is there something you can do like overcut the 14 and make it hang in the pocket and play safe? I don't know, I'm just throwing something out there. So she called an extension. She's got to do this quick. She has something in mind. But, if you're in this spot where you have no shot, then at least try to get yourself in a better position for the next time without leaving a shot for your opponent, if that's possible. So like I said, if she can get the 14 to sit in front of the pocket by overcutting it maybe, or I'm not sure what she's going to choose. She's not doing that, but I don't know exactly what. So she's just trying not to leave a shot for her opponent and getting her trouble ball out of there. That's another good. See, she put it in front of the side pocket, which is great. But she was trying to tuck it underneath, and she left the 5 open for being.
Let's give Jasmine a big round of applause.
So Jasmine has been knocked out of the tournament. She's our reigning champion for this event. Everybody's giving her a nice round of applause. And Cheska has got to be really happy about that. Like I said, that was the duplicate of the finals last year.
Yeah, Cheska's always a wild card in every tournament she plays, and when she's in stroke, she's extremely tough to beat.
Yeah, and she's always up at the top, so she's always a contender.
Good signs for her this tournament now. Taking down the defending champion.
Now, there's still quite a few great players to go through before she wins that title, so I'll be curious to see what the finale is going to look like.
Yeah, she'll be playing the winner of the Amit Mass match. Amit is up 5-3 right now in that one.
Ooh, Bean
first
just
missed ball in a while.
Yeah, see, she leaned over. Leaning over, you got to take a little extra time, and I know she did. I know she tried to do everything right, but there's just a different, when you're leaning, it's not comfortable, and there's just a different perspective. So I believe it's a little harder to see that line. You got to take a little bit more time. It's a good opportunity for Wei Wei to get back into this game and tie it up.
Eight's only available on the bottom right. She gets an angle similar to where the cue ball is now on the 12 as the key ball. She can fall over to the left side of the table for the 8.
Can she see the 11 by the 4? If she can, I would, take it now. Get that thing out of there. That's
just
tight.
a little worried about,
See her.
She has enough pocket. She'll just have to think about what ball she's going to use to get back on the 8. And actually, she can use the 13 up table, 10-13 finish.
I'm kind of interested, that face she just made. She stood up, kind of squinched her eyes, shook her head, like, I don't know if she was trying to clear her eyesight, or I'm not sure what that was. That was interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if it was a coincidence of the announcer, just kind of
could be
a distraction that she didn't expect.
Yep, that very well could be. So here's the 10. She's just got to make sure, like, to get that nice angle to roll down for the 8. So it only goes in the bottom right.
Pretty strong match from both players. Couple small mistakes on both sides, but more offensive play than not here.
See how she, with her footing, I like watching, like the next shot she makes, watch her footing. When she stands up at the shot, it's the approach to the shot, and she does the same thing all the time. Most of the players do the same thing. She didn't go down quite far enough. She's going to run back for something. I think to get her extension, yeah, so she can reach it. So now it's a little different because she has to reach, but see how she's got both feet together and then she kind of steps into her shot. She's watching the 5 to make sure that her clothing doesn't touch. The referee should be watching that really close. We can see it from here. She's got plenty of room. Very nice shot. Very nice shot. So that ties it up, 4-4. Big game right there.
Yeah, halfway through and all tied up. We have our stats guy from the Pro Billiards series joining us for this match. I let him know that I was going to be on the commentary, and he's actually sat in and done some extensive stats. I'll just read some of those off for you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's been Chen at the table 60% of the time compared to 40 for Hung. He has a player overall performance stat, which is similar to an AccuStats rating, but a little tougher. It's judged in a little more categories where errors can show up, and Chen's performing at an 890, which is right near close to world-class level. World-class would definitely be 900 or above, so right close to that. Hung's at 870. Break success for Chen is at 75%. 0 for Hung. 0 for 4 on the break for Hung so far. 1 foul on the break each. Chen's got a 16-ball lead in the balls pocketed department. And she's had the first shot after the break 88% of the time. So
well, in the
really could be worse for Hung here.
Yeah, I was going to say, and the
That's
score is 4-4, so where does that come into play? Because all the stats kind of look at Wei playing the strongest, but yet it's 4-4, so that's how close probably, even though the stats are showing her at a higher percentage of performance. So there's something else in there that is bringing them closer in the match score, right?
Yeah, Wei just broke down at the end of the rack a couple times. She scratched in the side in rack number 1. Didn't get on the 10 in around rack number 4. And that's really been the difference. You know, no one can play flawless, of course, but if she is to get through those 2 racks, we'd have a 6-2 score line.
Yeah, and see how
hung in there well. Go ahead, sorry.
That's okay. The just 2 slight mistakes, 2 very small mistakes, and that just shows you the high level of play these 2 players are playing. So she's opted for the solid.
4 early.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna have to bring the cue ball around 2 rails to open up back to either the 2-7 or 3.
What's happening here?
Ooh, time foul.
Ooh, I would love to have a replay. I would love to have a replay of that.
I would think it has to be a time foul.
Okay, so there's some mistake that they have made with the timing, and Bean did not foul, so they're continuing. Just got to regroup. So many things can happen in the game, and I talk a little bit about this, which I think is important, but we go home, we practice our skill part of it, what we're, how to pocket balls, what English is, work on the Englishes, work on our drills, work on all these things, watch pro players that have shot drills and what we can do to improve our game. But what do you do for the mental side of your brain? And this was a good example. She had she's in the flow, she's pocketing everything, and then something comes up outside of the game, the shot clock thing. Now that can throw you out of your focus, and you need to pull yourself back into that flow. So what do you do at home to work on your mental side of the game? Is it meditation? Is it exercise? Is it, are you reading books like The Inner Game of Tennis or some sports psychology books? Are you watching videos on sports psychology? Because at this point in their career, that is equally, if not if not more important than the skill part, because they've already kind of got the skill. So that was an error right there. She pushed the balls, and this is what happens. And that's what I love about straight pool. If you play straight pool, you learn about not where the cue ball is going only, but where the object balls are going, so you don't get in the situation she's in now. So she's pushed the balls without really knowing where they're going, and now has created a problem with the 7. So what do you think? What do you think about that, Eric? What do you think about what do you do for your mind game?
I mean, I think it's just about being prepared for the match and being prepared for whatever comes up. You know, you can tell yourself a little game plan going in, but what happens if you get stuck 5-0? You know, like you're planning to go in there as a winner, and you just have to adapt to so many different situations. And I think it's something that it's not talked about a lot, really, and something that, you know, players have to develop that skill over time to just kind of keep themselves on the most level mental space that they can.
Yes, but just specifically, that's what do you do to do that, you know? They're like, if you think about Olympic athletes, well, she made a nice little shot there, so she's got to get it back for that 8. Let's see. Yeah, she created a problem over there, and look out for the cue ball. Well, this is going to hurt. Yeah, so if you look at Olympic athletes, you know, I believe that they don't just train for their physical bodies, but they're also training mentally, and not just by, you know, you can say practice and make sure you're prepared and make sure you hit a lot of balls so you're comfortable and you get your confidence and all that. But I really think that training the mind also is key. And
No doubt.
I don't think enough people do things like I said, meditation or yoga or your breathing or whatever. I don't think enough players focus on that.
Especially in a kind of non-action sport like pool too. It's not like a reaction sport where plays just happen and your body reacts to what's happening. In this game, you have to create things on the table. So, you know, there's a lot of dead space in your mind that if you're not strong mentally, you know, you can start telling yourself negative stories, and just have to find ways to stay away from that as much as possible.
Right. Well, she's just looking at her plan of action here, which balls she's going to choose. So I think maybe the 15 next, 12, 14, or 15, 14, 12. I wouldn't want to be shooting over a ball, so whatever she does, if she can plant the cue ball so she doesn't have to shoot over another ball, like that, that's good. A couple of inches make a big difference, because if she were 2 inches to the right, she'd have to worry about shooting over that. Okay, let's see what kind of angle she has here. Is she going to go one rail and shoot the 8 in the same pocket? Oh,
A little thin.
yes.
To the
Not
point it's
good.
missable
Not
here.
good. Let up on her stroke a little bit, probably worried that she might not have a shot and get behind the 7, but that's like a 1.5 feet short. Just gonna be careful of the scratch also. Too much spin, you're going in the side pocket. Too little, you're going in the corner possibly. Look out, look out.
Cue ball.
Oh my gosh. I hated to say it, but I could just feel it, you know? And that's a shame. She was trying to avoid it by hitting the 7, but then by hitting the 7, she made it happen. And you know, that is not luck. You have to take responsibility when those things happen. It didn't have to happen, but you know, she's the one that shot it. And the mistake was getting the bad position on the 8 to begin with. So that cost big time.
That big turnaround here in game number 9. It's going to be Chien to break Dawn, I think. Is that right?
Who won the lag? Do you remember?
I don't know.
Because
It's
whoever...
the 10th game, so whoever didn't win the lag, yeah.
I always
Chien
look
to
at the
break here.
score. I always look at the score and say, so Bean won the break, because when the 2 scores after the game is even, it'll be Bean's break. That's how I think about it.
Yeah.
But I didn't remember who broke first. Because I'm old. I get short-term memory loss. Not really, but... Okay, let's see what she does with this break.
Off to the right again.
Yeah.
And not only is it the danger of scratching, when you don't contact the rack as squarely, you're less likely to make the balls in the second row. It's caught her here.
Yeah, she's had a lot of spin on the cue ball. So, to me, doesn't it take... If you have a lot of spin on the cue ball, isn't it taking some of the power out of the hit?
Absolutely, yeah. You want to be, ideally, you want to be popping the cue ball towards the rack, just kind of a bit above center and just no spin at all.
So this is going to be a hard rack. The 8 and the 13 are tied up. The 2 and the 14 are along the rail. The 5 is not the easiest place to make a ball. I mean, it's makeable, of course, depending on your position on it, but so she's opted to take the stripes. Now she could go into the 8 and break up this problem. The 15's hanging, but if she gets stuck behind the 3 and the 6, or if the 8, you know, kind of, there's just some things that could happen, but it is a good opportunity to break them out. Nice. She did a good job there. She's going to have to play a combination. And of course, playing the combination, or unless she can see that 15 direct on, I can't tell. That would be a better option. Because if she plays the combination, she's going to have to hit to the left of the 15, which means that the 13 will go to the left and go near that 3. I wouldn't like it to be so close, although if you do that, you could hit it harder and get the 3 out of there, but then who knows what's going to happen to everything else.
Yeah, she's got a lot of work to do left here. The 14's going to have to be pocketed from a very small angle if she doesn't want to go into it. She could see the 15.
Okay, that was good. I didn't know she could do that, so that was great because she got the 3 out of there, which was key. Now the only problem left is that 14, right? And you'd want to use the 10, but that'll be the last chance to get a shot on the 14. Well, you do have the 9 up there. I forgot about that.
Yeah, like trying to get straight on the 9 here because it lies very well for the angle she needs to get on the 14. A little tough to get straight. 8's kind of in the way of the path moving to the right. 1's kind of in the way of the path moving forward. But I think she has to try to find a way to get near straight. And she's considering the corner now on the 9. That'll work okay too. But the 6 is in the way of that, Dawn. So tough spot here.
Yep. Yeah, it's not easy from here. We'll see how much. She was trying to come up into the 2, was she?
Must have been. That would have been a great shot. It would have been a game winner if she got there. Wants to be straight enough now to hold where the 9 is, but I don't believe she is. Looks like there's an angle going to the right a little. Still in it here.
Okay,
Yes.
let's see. So she can make this 14 now. Can she make it from there? Not an easy shot. More importantly, she's going to be bumping something if she does that.
Yeah, worst case will be coming across and hitting the 5. That'll rarely leave her on the 10. That kind of is the way that the cue ball's playing. Might have to try to come between the 5 and the side pocket here.
Hard shot. This is a very hard shot. Wow.
Great shot.
Wow. What was that? That was awesome.
Hit to perfection.
She
And
has
she's
the position and everything to get out of there. She should hear
Yeah.
wiping her brow. She's like, whew.
she's getting closer to the finish line here, and this would be a decent upset in this round.
I don't know if I'd say it's an upset, though. Wei Wei is a great player, and she is ranked a little bit higher than Bean, but these two are very close. You know, we talked about that in the beginning of the match, how close they were in skill level.
Yeah, and I think Hung having a little bit more experience playing the hay ball too makes a difference. Oh, she's missed it, Dawn.
You know, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to blame it on the shot clock, but he said 10 right on while she pulled back on her stroke. I don't agree with that. But, you know, it's the same for everybody. I get it. But I just think that it's unnecessary. There's got to be some better way. And I'm not blaming it on him. She might have done that if there was no shot clock at all. I don't know. She called her extension. So I think that 5 ball is the hardest shot on the table, so she may be trying to run into it to get it off the rail. Well, she got it off the rail.
Yeah, tied up the 7 in the process.
And I don't think the 7 has any pocket, so I think she's going to have to do something. She could play safe right here. And that's the
It's the
thing. You don't have to run out, but these girls are very... She might be able to draw back into it. No. Played a safe. Not exactly the safe she wants, but I think Bean can see a piece of it. If Bean can see a piece of it, it doesn't really matter. It's going to be very hard for Bean to have the advantage from this spot.
Yeah, she got her good enough here that she's very low percentage. The only possible offense is banking the 8 in the top left. But I think the 5 might be in the way of that play.
Yeah,
Have to call something
it's a possibility. You're absolutely right. I think I would do it unless you want to tie the 8 up with like the 4 or something. Just make it hard. And she didn't really do it, but that's what she was trying. She was trying to lay up on the 4 and just make it harder for Wei to get out.
Yeah, I think sometimes an 8-ball, and this is the only pool game I can think of that's like this, you just have to shoot those low percentage shots sometimes when you're outnumbered like this. Because even if she did freeze the 8 up with the 4, there was just so many ways for Chen to kind of manipulate and get back into a better spot.
So she's going to play
it's weird,
safe.
Though.
Yeah.
You know, even if you get bad position on the 9, you can still play safe on the 9 and be in a decent spot. But when you're outnumbered like this, you kind of just have to take some chances, I think.
Yeah. So the tournament director's going to have to come over and watch this. I like that she played safe. I love it. I don't love what she did with the balls because she tied 2 things up, her 5 and the other 2 balls. So getting the safe was really important, but you can get a safe and not tie your balls up so that if you get ball in hand, then... ooh. So now she has ball in hand. She can get out, but she's got 2 things tied up. So she can't really just have a free run out, whereas if she played a safe and made sure they weren't locked together with both 2 things, then... So now what she's going to do is she's going to try to lock her up and break away that 5 from the 8, which she shouldn't have locked up to begin with, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, just biding her time here. What you just be a little bit careful about is the 8's close to the pockets, so there is the smallest threat of Hung being able to kick it in.
Now that was
locking her up good.
Yeah, that was a great shot. See, she opened up both problems, left safe. Bean's got a kick, but very low percentage of making it, but the percentage is there, so we're not going to discount it. She just wants to make sure to hit it, too. Wow, look how close. That was a great try and really didn't leave an easy shot for Wei, so Wei may have to play another safe.
Yeah, I think the 2 is the only ball that's possibly on.
Can she see past the 4? If she can see past the 4, it's like a free shot because I don't think Wei can cut the 8 in if she misses the 2. So that, if she could see past the 4, I would just roll it down.
She's come out just enough that I think Hung could cut this in with a bunch of left.
She could. She's looking for where she's going to put the cue ball. Oh no, she's kicking it, so it's too far off the rail. I mean, too far away from the pocket. So she's going to... This is a more makeable shot here because it's sitting in front of the pocket. Oh, whoo. Wow.
We're gonna come much closer there.
Did she leave Wei with a shot? I guess the 2 goes in the side, so.
Yeah, 2's okay this time.
So now let's see if she feels free enough to, she made a big mistake. Well, actually, Bean made a mistake on this rack, but let's see if she feels, free enough to get through this rack.
Four is going to be the toughest solid for Chen. Could use the 6 to get on it and even shoot it last.
Yeah, if she shoots the 7 now and stops it there and then shoots the 6 to get over for the 4, that might be a good option. She's got to leave an angle. But it looks like she's going to use the 3 and come over for the 4.
So I'll help if she pushes over the side.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary to hit that ball, but it didn't. I mean, she hit it great. I guess with the 7 being in front of the pocket, that was the safety ball to have that happen.
Yeah, just getting a little creative there. Worked out well.
Ooh, used all of that pocket. Now she'll just come 1 rail out and play the... She could play the 4 in the side. That's the closest pocket. But if it's too straight, she could just play the 4 down in the corner. So
it's okay here. Just try to get straight on the 4. Probably forced to draw from the 4 to the 8. Both these last 2 balls nice and close to the pocket. Back and forth match, Don.
yes.
Hung had the only 2-game lead of the match so far. Chen coming back with 2 of her own at one point, and now that looks like it's going to be back to level terms here.
Okay, she's given herself a harder shot than she needed to, but she can put a little high right hand in English and then just spin it in. That'll keep it from scratching in the bottom. There you go. Whew. Yeah, she made that hard. So, ties it up 5-5. We have a race to 3 now because we're going to 8. We want to thank you at home for tuning in. If you've tuned in late, this is Dawn Hopkins, and I'm here with Eric. Eric, what's your last name?
Orlifson. It's a tough one. It's a Viking last name.
Orlison?
Orlifson, yeah.
Well, are you a Viking?
Yeah.
Are you a Viking fan? Because we are in Green Bay, you know.
That's right, yeah. No, I wouldn't want to be wearing my Viking jersey if I was over there live, but...
We are in Green Bay, Wisconsin, at the Oneida Nation Casino and Hotel and Convention Center. We're playing inside the convention area. The ballroom is beautiful. Can't really see it from this camera angle, but it's been great playing conditions here. Okay, she's had dry breaks. Can she make a ball?
Try again.
I would be changing from where I broke from. I would severely change if if it's not working. Don't
I
try
hear
to
ya.
force it.
Even if it's a foot either way or 6 inches either way, right or left, I would change it slightly. And she has been going almost the exact same on every break and hasn't paid off here.
So the 2 and the 13 are tied up. That's an issue. Also, the 7 is frozen on the back rail. Not really keen on that one. Other than that, I think the 5 doesn't go past the 13. So you could, we'll see which one she likes best. Looks like she's taken the solids.
Yeah, if she's taking solids here, I got to believe the 5 passes the 13, and she'll be hoping for an angle when she pockets the 5 to be able to open up the 2.
Right, because then the 4 is there for a safety shot.
Needs a little angle going to the right here, and I think she has it.
Yeah, so if she just, this is where, I'm going to say it again, you have to know, even though you know which way the cue ball's going, you also have to hit it at the speed that you know where both the 13 and the 2 are going, so that it doesn't bounce to the rail and bounce back together again or something like that.
She's considering using the 6, and this will play naturally off the short rail back into it. Doesn't
I like
want to push
that,
the
except
2 right towards the 9 too much.
yeah, that's what I was going to say, the same thing.
The elimination match on table 4 is complete with Rubalik
Oh, went
Witt
2
defeating
rails.
Sophia
Okay,
Mast.
I don't know if that
Together for Sophia.
did any better, because the 2 you can maneuver around, but both now the 5 and the 2 are a little harder. She can see the 4 in the corner. She's probably going to have to focus on the 7 now, because I don't think she can stay down in this area. If she makes the 4, the cue ball's going to go off to the right here pretty quick. She could play a safe and stick the cue ball behind the 5, but the angle isn't really great for where the 4 is going. So I think she would have rather had it go behind the 5, because now she can see the 3. Now Bean can see the 13. I'm sorry, the 3. Not the 3, the 13.
Yeah, looks like she's left a possible bank here. Big shot in this overall set coming from Hung here.
She had to go for that bank because the 4 is sitting by the pocket. It would have been hard to get a safety from there. I guess she could have kind of rolled up and stuck it on the 4. She's tied a couple of balls up now. Bean has the 11 is tied up now. So I think that Wei has a pretty good advantage in this game at this point.
Yeah, she'd want the cue ball to be running into the 8 here, but it's not, so she has to elevate. Keep the cue ball on the left side of the table.
Okay, don't leave the... If you leave the 7, I guess you could leave the 7 for last, but both these bottom pockets will be opened up once she makes the 5 and the 4.
Yeah, it would be the least cue ball movement to get to the 7 last, but 10 balls playing kind of precariously as far as getting back towards the 8.
Oh, look at this. So she's going to play the 1 to the 7 to get to the 4. I kind of liked taking the 4 right then and getting on the 1 to the 7, because I think it's fairly easy to get to the 7 from the 1.
Yeah, she's moving the cue ball a little more here.
Ooh. Ooh. Now she has a problem.
Way too straight here.
Really big problem. Yeah, I don't like the choice of, I thought she should have taken the 4. It would have been more controllable to get from the 4 to the 1. And then the 8's kind of in the middle of the table with both pockets open. So you could have gotten on either side of the 7. And this is one of the reasons that getting rid of those balls, I always, when I look at what's blocked up in the beginning of the rack, I always think about those balls that are frozen on the back rail. Because, as you can see, if you don't get rid of it early, this is what can happen. We like to think we're going to play perfect position all the time, but we don't. So we have to consider that. So she may try to kind of bump into the 11 and whatever that other ball is, the 13, to slow the cue ball down after making the 4. And just take a longer shot. But just focus on making the ball and, you know, right now all her focus should be on pocketing this 4 ball. It's too late to play safeties here. No.
Oh, not there.
No.
And another miss at the end of the rack for Chen here.
Yes, that is a shame. That's a shame. And Bean still has her work cut out for her, but I think, you know, if she stays, it's so much more comfortable to have a bunch of balls to be able to shoot at. But see, the 4 is pretty close to the rail, so the only place that if she misses she can leave her safe is like very far to the left here on the rail. So every ball here counts to make. Let's play the 9, come up and play the 15, the 10. Again, playing early to get rid of the little clutter there. She's going to have to be on the right-hand side, I think, to make one of those balls. So she's got a good opportunity to do that after the 9.
Yeah, I think the 11 and the 13 are going to be available into the left middle.
Well, she's going to probably play the 15 and then stop for the 10 and then drift down. I don't really like saving it, and again, we're hoping we play perfect position, but we don't always, so trying to get to it early is better. She's got the 13 is open to the side pocket, so she's going to be playing position on the 13 over to the right rail. A little shy, but still makeable. The cue ball is going to be drifting down towards the 8, I think. So I can't tell how much of an angle there is here, but if it's a big angle, then she won't just slow roll it in. If it's a small angle, okay, she's got to jack up.
Can we brings element of miss into play here if she is elevating.
Yeah, can we get an overhead, please? Yeah, there you go. So I don't know. If this is makeable, I wouldn't jack up. I would just shoot it in and take the shot on the 11. too much can happen when you jack up. If you're off just a little, where she's so close to the 11 and she hits it off slightly, she's not going to make it. Sometimes you try to get too perfect, but she could hit it perfect.
Shot.
That was a great shot. So she's going to have to get, I don't know, does it go by the 4? If it does, she doesn't have to worry about it. Otherwise, she's going to have to kind of move the cue ball. This is to go on the hill. It's a big, big game. No, I'm sorry. They're going to 8. That's not ideal. No.
Yeah,
She
she
hit
only
it.
has half the pocket here, Dawn. I
Yeah,
mean, this is very tough. She could get off the long rail and back into the 4 and still slide in, but to make it directly, it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, I don't know why she would have hit it so, like, you're talking 3 feet short. That ball had to move to the other side 3 more feet to have a good shot on this. Did she call a pocket?
Yeah, just a misplay on the last stripe from Hung there, and that's going to be a big turning point in this match. Going to be going into Chen's breaks as well.
And she's making balls more than Bean has. So that puts her up 1 at 6-5. Yes, big mistake on Bean's part, I think. I don't know why she shot it that way. If it went that slow, like I said, it was 3 feet short of being in the right place. So why wouldn't she have used high English, gone down the table, and come back up? Or done
Yeah, she would have had to really overhit it the way she was kind of playing it across to the right there.
Right, yeah. So they have taken another break, and we can talk a little bit about the facility and the sponsors. Oh, and here are some updates on the matches. We got, of course, this match is 6-5. Wei is in the lead. And then we have Kawahara and Chiang is up 7-5. So we have a few matches that are going to be playing after. Do you want to mention those? Did you find that the 4th match that you were talking about?
I did, yeah. I'll just have to go back to my bracket here. Just give me a sec, but yeah.
And I want to thank Dr. Poole Promotions for producing this event along with WPBA and the WPA. I want to thank them for having this event under their umbrella. So this WPA is like an umbrella organization for all the world tours. In the U.S., it's the WPBA. There are tours around the country and events, all different types of events around the world. So like in Canada, for example, they have their own tour, and so WPA is a umbrella organization that can bring all these players together so that we're playing by the same rules and everything is consistent around the world. Because we do play a little bit differently in our tours. So that's a great thing to have. And let's see, we want to also thank Olhausen Billiards. They have a beautiful table out there, all the equipment, the Simona's cloth, Aramith pool balls. They're all playing very, very good. Players are commenting on how everything is just excellent quality. J. Peachauer cues, custom cues, they have been a supporter for many years. They even sponsored our green room, which is where we get to go back and relax in between matches and get a bite to eat. They had a football player come in yesterday and do a doubles match. One of the Green Bay Packers, Matthew Golden, he came in and was teamed up with Christina Takash, and then Joe Peachauer came in and played with, I think it was, who was that?
I think it was Sophia.
Yes,
if I'm
yes,
not
thank
mistaken.
you.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
How was Golden? Could he pocket any balls?
He was
he's a
really good.
professional athlete. Was he? Yeah.
He was good. I mean, his form was not good, of course. He has some things to learn, but
Yeah.
but he was pocketing balls. He made long shots. It was really both of them. Joe Peachauer was a great player, and so it was a fun match to watch. We had a nice crowd around to view that. So, okay, we're back in action here. Wei Wei's break. See if she can pocket a ball and keep control of the table. It would be huge if she could break and run right here. Ooh, thanks to the one. The one just knocked it out from the side scratch. I'm like tense every time she breaks because I keep thinking it's going to scratch. She did make a ball on the break, and she has choice.
Just talking about the draw a little bit while we were going into break. The Rublev Mid and Cheska Centeno will play in the quarterfinals. Winner of this match will play the winner of Chang and Kawahara. Kawahara had 7-5 at this point. Coming up with the 3 o'clock round, we might get going maybe half an hour late on that one just because of the duration of these matches. Will be Pia Filler and Savannah Easton, Margaret Fefilova-Steyer and Christina Zlateva, Christina Tkach and Kelly Fisher, Che-Yu Cho and Soa Soa, and consider that one a blockbuster, that last match, Cho and Soa. All great matches, and we'll have those live for you in the preceding round. Good start here for Chandon, right on the treble ball, within one shot.
Yes, that's a good look at this shot right here into the corner. So I think where would she go from here? That's the question. I think she's going to have to draw it back, maybe play the 15th or take a cut on the 10. Just don't bump into that 2.
Shot.
She did good there. She got through.
15 will be a good key ball for the 8. Only thing here, she's a little straight. I think she might be able to manufacture some angle going to the short rail and 2 rails back towards the 14.
Yeah, I think that might be better than drawing back because it is so straight. I don't know. She might feel comfortable drawing it back. It just depends.
Yeah,
You have to cheat
here for sure.
You got to cheat the pocket either way because you don't want to draw straight into the side pocket. It's very close if she comes back that way. And then I don't care for the angle that she's looking at right now. I almost like your idea is just to spin out and take a long shot on the 14 in the corner.
Yeah, she's got to be careful of the 7 coming back here.
Yes.
So if she doesn't get on the 9, she's not going to be good on the other 2 stripes.
Ooh, she hit that hard.
All the way back.
Wow, that was good. That was
Shot.
nice shot.
9-14, 11-15 finish now, and this is for Chen to get on the hill.
All right, I'd like to welcome everybody back to the 2 o'clock matches. Again, we're down to our final 16. These are races to 8. These are elimination matches. I'd like to start out by reminding everybody that we do have in the middle of the room boards from Olhausen.
Looks like they're going to get a couple of those
that we're raffling off.
final 16 matches going on time.
Out front, and then there's one that is a silent auction. Also a reminder that the tables that you see here this weekend are for sale locally at great prices. They're limited edition tables, only 10 of them made, the custom purple Juma sites, especially made for this event. They're all at 50%
Timely
off.
break and run possible here for Chen.
Again, stage 2 elimination matches of the 2026 Oneida WPA Women's 8-Ball World Championship. Started out with 64 players, down to our final 16. These are all elimination rounds. Sunday we'll be back at 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Our championship match, race to 9, right after. Winner of this takes home a check for $30,000. And these ladies are playing for a purse that is over
Nicely on the 8.
$1,000.
And a big break from Chen is going to pay dividends here.
Thank you out to our sponsors. First and foremost,
She'll have one more break at the match win.
each hour custom cues.
We have up to Hung to defend, and she's been very low on the overall break percentage.
Yeah,
Take
that's
another look from her stats guy. Go ahead, Dawn.
I just want to interrupt for 1 second because I have a flight to catch. So
Oh, really?
I have a special treat for you, though, for all of you at home. We have Jasmine Ocean, who is the reigning champion of this event, and she just finished a match over there, and I'm sure, you know, she's got some things to say about that. But she's going to sit in with you for the rest of this match. So, Mike, if you can kind of handle the taking the show out and all that stuff, Jasmine's going to sit and comment with you on the rest of this game. I just want to thank everybody at home. I'm Dawn Hopkins, and thank you for watching and supporting all the sponsors and everything. And Eric, thank you for commenting with me. So
Thank you.
you're gonna hear a different voice now.
Hi, Jasmine. Good to have you. You let me know when you're ready to go.
Hello.
Yeah,
I'm here.
Good.
So I was just sitting next to the table because obviously Wei Wei is a good friend of mine, so I was watching. So I guess Dawn thought it's a good idea to ask me, and of course I'm happy to help.
Well, thanks for coming in after just going down in defeat. Assuming Cheska played good.
Well, it was actually quite a solid match, but I just had my share of mistakes. And at 4-4, I had a bad break, and then afterwards I missed one shot, and you know, the rest was pretty easy for her. So against Cheska, you gotta really bring your best game, especially when she's rolling like that. So, and
Sure.
I didn't do that today. But still, it was a solid match, though. For sure, interesting for the crowd.
This one's been back and forth. Hung was off to a 4-2 lead early. Chen came back with 2 games of her own, and it's been kind of close since that point, but Chen just came with a break and run there to get on the hill.
Yeah, I've seen now the last couple of racks, and it's really a little bit of back and forth here with these 2 players. It feels like nobody really wants to win right now.
Yeah,
A little bit of drama
the 11
going
to
on.
the 8 was a little rough there for Hung and 2 racks ago.
But yeah, this one seems fairly open, I have to say. Probably going for this stripes one, I'm assuming. It's funny sometimes because you're always hoping for an open table, and then sometimes it's completely open and you're like, you just can't find a pattern that works because there's so many options. So
Or you got 3 in your mind and you're trying to figure out which one's 5% better. And
Exactly.
yeah, it's 8 ball's funny like that.
Yeah, so sometimes it's better when you only have one choice and you gotta, okay, gotta go with that one.
Toughest stripe on the table is going to be the 10. 13's a little tricky. Shouldn't get onto it off the 12 here. 14, 12, 13, 10. 15, 9, maybe.
Yeah, I would also make sure you get to the 10 and the 13 soon, to be honest. I think now is pretty good time to do that. I think she wanted to go further for the 10 ball, but I think she can now go with the 13 first and then play maybe the 10 ball in the side.
Fourteen's a little in the different area of the table, but not much traffic around it, so it's okay to leave it till later on.
It's sometimes really interesting. It's like you would think everything is so open and easy, but still you got to be on point with the position. You can still get in trouble when you're just not on point. I mean, to me it looks quite fine right now. Good on the 10.
Well, that's the thing about 8-ball. Rotation tends to be more of a kind of landing zone position game, but in 8-ball, you have to be really precise with your cue ball. So although it looks easy, it's not. We both know that.
Yeah, and then again, you can sometimes miss position like 6 times and still run out the table.
Right, yeah.
So it's like, I mean, you do have options sometimes, but yeah, it's so much easier when you are on point with your position. But again, I'm not quite sure what she's going to do now. Is she going to go with the 15, then 14, then 9? Or is it 14, 15, 9? It's just... You know, when you learn 8-ball,
okay.
yeah, it's just like when you learn it, right? You don't want to leave like the last ball on the rail. But I mean, with the 9-ball here, it seems fine. I think the 8 passes the 4. So, should be possible. It just needs the right angle now. Now it's going to be important to really get on the 9. Like, play position for the 15 and then the right one for the 9.
Needs an angle going to the left off the 15, ideally here.
Yeah.
Looks like she has it. Like standing in between the 6-9 or trying to draw back on top of it?
I would probably go between the 6 and 9. I don't think she
Yeah.
has that much angle. So you don't want to
You're
draw
right.
it back. You draw it back too well and then you're behind the 6. Or even go forward. I mean,
I think she has to. She's that straight.
So she kind of did a mix of both. It's not
Right.
going all the way forward, not stunning it. That's pretty much the worst position you can be in now with this cue ball.
And this could be the match here. Chen's going to be a big favorite if Hung isn't able to pull this off. No safes at this point. Going to have to go for a thin blind back cut here.
Yeah, she has to go for this one. There's no safety available for sure. No.
Got it. And just a couple mistakes at the end of the rack here for Hung. Chen's hung in well. She's broken well. She's able to get through these last 7. I think she has a chance to progress far in the tournament.
Yeah, Weiwei has had a really good season so far, and even last year, a couple of tournament wins. So I think the only thing that's missing on her list is a world title.
Each player in a hill-hill match gets 1 extra extension.
And that's what you want as an opponent, right? Just miss the last ball on the table and it's all open.
Sure.
It's such an aggressive game, 8-ball, because there's not much, kicking, safety and all that. A little bit here and there, but overall it's like an offense game. Decide if you want to run out or not. That's pretty much it. And when you do decide it, you got to go for it, because at some point there's just nothing else you can do.
You heading over to Italy early, Jasmine, or
Excuse me again?
are you heading over to Italy early, or?
Oh no, I cannot really change the flight now. It's just a matter of one day, so I'm gonna use my time in the practice room, to be honest, whenever it's free. Prepare a little bit for 10 ball. And then fly out Monday, arriving Tuesday to just repack my suitcase, and then leaving again for on Wednesday to Rome.
Okay.
So a lot of flying to do, but really looking forward to that one, I must say.
Yeah, well, good luck out there.
Thank you. Yep.
Almost short. Body language looks okay. 2 shots left for Chen to move into the quarterfinals now.
Yeah, I think this should be it. One last breath, and then
yeah.
Yep, that's it.
There it is. Tzu-Chien advancing to the quarterfinals. Hard fought match here, but was able to pull out the win in the end. Good tournament for Bean Hung, finishing in the final 16, and she'll be back. She'll be over in Italy for the Women's World 10 Ball Championships. And for Dawn Hopkins, and thanks for coming in last minute, Jasmine.
Of course.
It's been Eric Orlifson. Yeah, if you're free for the rest of the tournament, talk to the streaming guys. We'd love to have you on.
We already talked, so it seems like I am gonna jump in for one match. So.
Okay, great.
So that's
okay.
You're gonna hear me again. Sorry, guys.
Okay, nice. Okay, next match will be up in about 10 or 15 minutes, and you can stay tuned to the same channel. And got lots more action to come for you today.
Sounds good.
Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon, guys. Have fun.